Hey, gotta tell you about this. I thought it was a new pickup line when she came up to us at the counter and asked me, understanding or systems? And the context for this is that she overheard us talking about what it means to have a clear mind, what a clear head allows you to do. And basically we were talking about states of flow and how clear mind, having nothing on your mind at a particular time because you already know what you're doing, or because you've done what it takes to have a clear space in your head, so you're free to give your best. And the contrast with that and having a system in place, where a system is not a bad thing either. If you have a system, it'll prevent you from making a lot of mistakes as well. Like if you've got something in place that takes care of you for when your mind isn't clear, well, that prevents accidents as well. Because we were talking about how having a clear head, having awareness protects, and well, having a system protects as well. Because if you have something that's there for you that tells you how to function, that you decided beforehand for how you'll function under a given set of circumstances. I call them heuristics. So when in doubt, here's what to do. Okay. And we were talking about, which works in what situation, and it almost got to like a discussion of which is better under which circumstance. And this girl came up to me and asked, systems or understanding? And what she kind of meant was, as we talked about, it was, if you had only one, which would you pick? And well, I kind of argue that you got to have both, because until you get it, a system that you have in place is really useful, and when you get it, things tend to be more automatic, but sometimes they aren't, and it does help to have a rule of thumb for how to decide that you decided on already in advance when you were sane, when your head was clear. That kind of tells you how to automate things, how to do things on the fly, what to do when in doubt. So kind of both. So like if it gets to like a shy person, okay, if you've got a person who's kind of socially awkward or doesn't adapt well to social situations, like the person doesn't get it yet. The person doesn't get that people are human too. that girls are human too. That guys are human too. And that we naturally connect when we have less on our minds. And now if the person doesn't get that, well, you're looking for techniques, you're looking for lines, you're looking for how to start a conversation, and you're looking for like canned routines and canned strategies and techniques on what to do. And which one's more useful? and even there, I would argue that understanding is infinitely more useful. But I get that until we get the understanding, well, we still haven't gotten it. Having a system in place, that's also useful. And for just in case you forget, that system is there for you as well. Let's take another example, okay? If let's say you were doing workshops, and it's like you're a company and you do workshops, if you understand why it's useful to have like feedback forms and name tags and maybe a pen or pencil prepared for all the participants in advance, and if there's like a pre-prepared flow for what happens when participants come in, if you don't get why those are useful, it's a hit and miss thing. You'll do it once because you've been advised by your advisor, and then you'll forget about it because you don't get it. You don't get why it's important. But when you get it, it's automatic. But until you get it, it's kind of still useful to just take it on as a system. Every single time we do a workshop, we'll do this. So just in case, it's like a flight checklist. It's like the reason why pilots don't crash so much is that they have a flight checklist. Even though they know the exact routine, they still have to check every single box just to make sure they don't miss anything. And so a system is in place to make sure we can manage even when we're not exactly sane, and to make sure we don't miss out on things. However, understanding things, when you really get things, well that automates things, and then the checklist just helps you to confirm that you've gotten it right. So for me, kind of both. Even though there was this time when all I knew was systems, because I didn't know anything else. I knew there were beliefs, I knew there were skills, and I knew there were actions, and if we changed skills, if I learned something, if I had a system in place, then things work better. And that was because I didn't get it. And then stupid me, when I got it, I thought I didn't need the systems. But what it actually was that since I had some systems in place already, when I got it, when I actually really just got it, when I hit a clear mind, since I got so much more from having a clear head than from systems, I thought what it was is that I abandoned all the systems. But that's not true. As I look at it, as I look at participants for workshops we've conducted and coaching I've done since, and I've learned my lesson with this, those who had some form of a system in place, or those who kind of knew at least the direction they were going to go in, as soon as they hit a clear head, boom, automatic, they knew exactly what to do. It's like, since they were no longer in their way, they could do anything. And what was for me, silly me, is that I kind of woke up and understood a few things, and then I thought I no longer needed systems. But the truth of the matter is, it just made things automatic. The things I needed, I could use automatically. The things I no longer needed, I abandoned them, and they were no longer on my mind. I didn't have to think about them anymore. Understanding made everything automatic. And so for me, I guess, looking at it now, it's still a bit of both. I still advise you look for understanding, for insight, for new thought that automatically changes your actions, because it comes built in with that. I'd still say look for understanding whenever possible, first and foremost. But while you don't have it, it's useful to have a system in place. It helps, by example, to at least do things which create the space so that you can have insights. And that's a system, isn't it? So kind of both. And if you'd like to function from flow and be able to use your ability to focus well in this world, I'd say use both. Look for both. And if you know people who can help you out with both, do that. Whenever possible, though, I'd still ask people, if you can, look for understanding, because that's the highest leverage. But when you get it, and when you really got it, things just happen automatically and easily, and you can learn the systems so much faster if you get the basic premise, if you get the one new thought that changes everything. I hope this little story has been useful, and if it has, I'd like for you very much to share this message with other people who are trying to figure out what to do or what to do first, and which is highest leverage. And the shortcut is, yeah, understanding is the highest leverage. But while you still don't get things, while you haven't gotten the insight that changes everything, why not work on your systems? Why not have systems in place